Do you want to learn how to draw this adorable little drummer boy with me? If so, you are going to need something to doodle with, something to erase any mistakes that you might make, and a marker to outline your doodle when you are done drawing, and some crayons, markers, colored pencils, or paint. Go ahead and grab all of those supplies and let's get started. All right, let's get started on doodling our little drummer boy. So we are going to start by drawing a big, kind of like a U shape for his head. His head face area. So nice, big, curved shape, like so. At the end of that shape, we're going to go ahead and give him his little ears. This is a little boy, so we are going to see his ears. So we're going to definitely draw those in. And then I am going to kind of continue. I'm going to come out a little bit from where this curve is. And I'm going to go up on both sides just a little bit because I want his hair to kind of lay down and be messy looking. And we're going to add just a couple little spiky pieces of hair kind of coming down on his head, and maybe like a couple little sprigs straight up in the back, and then we can kind of come around and meet up with that line we made for his hair. So now he's got all of his little hair. And then I'm going to come down, and he is a little bit on the poor side, I believe. So his clothes were a little tattered, but he had his drum and he played beautiful music. So what I did was I made a little neck. Then I came next to the neck and I made a little diagonal shape. Not really a full rectangle, but definitely close enough. And then I'm going to come down from there just a little bit. And I'm going to go right over to the other side. And again, you got to keep his neck in mind. So right about here is where my other line would go, and I'm going to stop up a little bit. So I want this to kind of go at an angle, and that's because his drum is going to land right in here. So I want this to be at a nice little angled area. So now I can come back up here, and let's give our little drummer boy a little nose, kind of a really big nose because of my marker. And I'm going to go ahead and give him his eyes. I'm going to close them. I want him to be like feeling the music. Maybe give him just a slight smile, nothing super obvious, and maybe like some little freckles. I don't know why. I feel like he should have some little freckles on his face. All right, now we're going to come in and I'm going to draw the drum before I draw his arms, which is kind of why I skipped it there, because I need to know where his arms are going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and come right up above that curve, that angle I made, and I'm going to do a curved line. Now I want to leave right here open because he's going to have a stick. So I'm going to leave leave a space there, and then I'll add in the rest of that curve. So this is the top of the drum. Okay, and now I'm going to come down. I'm going to kind of angle in just a little bit. And then at the bottom here, we will curve with kind of this curve. We'll add another curve. So that way we have the base of the drum. I'm going to turn it just because it's easier for me to draw a curved line that way. So this is the top part of the drum. And then what we'll do is add some V's going up and down just for like a little decoration to the drum. All right. Add that other line, looked a little goofy. All right, now let's do some arms. All right, let's start over here with this arm. So this arm, I think we're gonna have maybe not holding or not hitting the drum, but kind of off of the drum. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw his arm coming down diagonal here, parallel line there. And then I want to kind of flare out, I think. I want his shirt to be a little oversized at the ends of it. Like we'll add a nice big cuff and we'll just kind of make it look like it's a little too big. So I'll do a line there. Then I'm going to kind of come down here to make the cuff. I'm going to come out past that line. I don't want to meet up with that line. And we're going to go up, and then I'll do a nice little curve. So he's got a really big arm cuff here, like ridiculously large compared to like his little body. Over here, I'm going to do the diagonal line, but I'm going to do it coming out. So just like this one is, very similar, except this one's going to go down and this one went up. So I'm going to go ahead and curve down. I'm going to flare out. So this one flared. I need that one to flare too. And we'll do a little curve there. And then I'm going to come out and down for this just ridiculously oversized arm cuff. Okay. And I actually think I might be able to just finish that off. I'm trying to think of how his hand will be in there, but I think that'll be okay. All right, so now he's going to have a really skinny little wrist. Okay. And we're going to come out, over, and we're making his thumb. And we're going to come down and around. And now that's his thumb, and it's going to be holding his drumstick. So now we're going to do finger 1, finger 2, and then finger 3 is going to kind of curve right around in there to kind of put all of that together. Now we're going to draw the drumsticks. So I'm going to go down with a straight line. I'm going to kind of lift my marker, but kind of keep drawing through until I come down. Do the same thing over here. Draw through, bring it down, finish the drumstick at the bottom, and then we'll add a nice big circle here at the top of his stick. So he's got one stick there. And we're going to draw this other stick needs to be going into here because that's where my gap is. So we're going to just kind of add a couple little bumps there for his like knuckles. And I think we're just going to kind of curve around there. So let's add in this stick. Okay, we're going to come around here and there. And then we'll add a nice big circle there. And then wherever you have any gap, go ahead and fill it in. So now we've got our little boy drumming there. His shirt kind of would fizzle out over here, kind of have a little flare. So I'm going to draw just that little bit there. And then we can draw in his little legs. So I'm going to come down there, and I'm going to come down here with some diagonal lines, come down the middle nice and straight. And I think I'm just going to add just some nice rounded half circles for the shoes. And I think our little drummer boy is complete. So what I'm going to do is add maybe like a couple little music notes around him. I am not a music teacher. I don't even know what notes these are. I'm just going to draw in, to me, what are music notes. So that is our little drummer boy. Look at how cute he is. So now we can go ahead and add some color. So I'm going to actually use my markers for this one. So what I think I want to do is I want to give him kind of like an orangey brown hair. So this is Tiger Orange, and it is a marker that is a little bit darker than the orange. It's not so bright and yellow based. This one's a little more brown toned. And that one is going to help it look a little more like a hair color and less like a tiger. So even though it's called Tiger Orange, cartoon tigers, I feel, are a little bit on the oranger side in this color. So we've got like some red hair. Ooh, I'm losing stuff. I don't even know what I'm losing. All right, then I feel like his skin color, let's go ahead and use a twistable for that. And I'm not using the peach because the peach they're too peachy. They're too reddish, pinkish to me. They're just not the right color. So I'm going to color lightly with this color. Don't forget, we got to do his hands and his neck. So there's his little neck. There's his hand. Hand 2. And that's all the skin that we see. And then I'm actually going to use a little peach on top just to add a little bit of pink like in his cheek area. But I'm not going to really go over his whole face. So I'm just going to kind of do these sides and give him a little bit more life. Okay, and a little bit on his neck and a little bit just kind of in the corners of his hands. Okay, I don't know why, but I feel like his drum should be red. Is that a thing? Not the top. Maybe down here. Actually, let's do like a red-green stripe for Christmas. Like, let's do the bottom ones, bottom triangles here red. Then we'll do the top triangles green. What about his little sash? Let's do that red. Okay. I'm going to use this iguana green instead of the bright green. This is just a much nicer green to me than regular old Crayola green. So I'm going to color that in. I don't know, should his shirt be green? I feel like his shirt should be, I don't know. Like a brown maybe? Let's use a brown crayon. Let's use a darker brown crayon. And let's color his shirt in. Because he was kind of in some tattered clothes, right? So I didn't really draw him all tattery. But let's kind of make his clothes like a little bit more on the not so pleasantly colored side then. And I think his big sleeves will just do a lighter brown. And since I have this dark brown, we'll add a little shadow up here. Help him look like he's looking downward. A little bit on his head. There's a drawing underneath this page and it's bleeding through and it's driving me nuts because I can see all the lines. All right, so we did that. Let's add a little bit of this brown to his hair. Give him a little something there. And you know what? I really want to use a little pink on his cheeks. That's red. I don't want to use a little red. I want to use a little pink. Right where all his little freckles are. Let's just add like a little pink. A little rosiness across maybe like the bridge of his nose and everything. Okay. Now let's do these drumsticks. Would probably be, oh, let's just use the gray. And let's just add a little shadow on the stick. That way they're still a little white. Let's do black for his shoes. Black crayons, so that way they're not dark, dark, dark black. And I can kind of have a little bit of value in them and add like some darker black areas. His pants, how about blue? How about like a blue jean, maybe? I don't know. I guess I should research the little drummer boy and figure out exactly what color his clothes were. Okay, so let's add some shadow underneath that drum. It's a big, heavy drum. We got to have a little shadow there. Let's add a little shadow on his shirt. And from the the sash onto his shirt. So remember, your shadows are anywhere that things are overlapping. So we have quite a few areas there we could have done. And then we'll color these a little bit of a lighter brown. His big old, what are they, sleeves. And then I'm going to go over them with a little bit of this reddish brown. Just so they're not the same color as his skin tone is that lighter brown that I used. All right, I know that that's white, so we're going to also actually, well, we'll go through on this with the gray, and we're just going to color the drum top in gray. And then we'll add a little bit of black for some shadow. So a little bit under the drumstick because it's actually touching the drum. A little bit around the back, a little bit here on the sides, and then we'll do a little shadow underneath because that would be like a really tight animal skin to help make that drum nice and loud. Look at how cute our little drummer boy is. I hope that you had fun doodling with me today. If so, please like, subscribe, and share the video. And I hope you have a great day. Can't wait to see you again until next time. Bye.